Hello, everybody, and welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our 50th event. I have great pleasure to be here with Abraham, Rosmari, Jake, and Kirill. Kirill's joining us for the first time from LobbyFi. He just shared a bunch of really interesting stuff with us about LobbyFi, and we're going to get into the respect game where we'll hear more about what everybody's working on too. Working on. So, yeah, thanks everybody for being here, and thanks everybody out there for watching. Hope you have a great event and enjoyed the episode. If anyone wants to say a quick hello or anything like that, then feel free. I have a presentation with an introduction to Optimism Fractal as well as what we're going to be doing. So I'll jump into that now. But if anyone wants to jump in real quick, then feel free to do so as well. So, from IRL events at ETH Denver and Boulder to UR regions to Optimism Fractal, ETH Denver just happened, big news in the Ethereum ecosystem, and now we're back here with a respect game at our usual time every other Thursday at 7 UTC to play the respect game, a consensus-driven coordination mechanism that fosters public goods creation and reputation building across the superchain and around the world in many ways. Respect Game provides an engaging space where people can come join the Optimism Fractal events and showcase their contributions, collaborate to range of the impact, and earn respect tokens through consensus. You can see more in the Optimistics tweet and like and retweet to share and so forth. Beautiful artwork going on with the Ethereum space. And check out optimismfractal.com to learn more. So Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the superchain. We've been meeting for about a year and a half now. We host bi-weekly events that everyone's welcome to join to network, make friends, and collaborate with talented builders in Superchain, where we play the Respect game. As I said, it's an innovative on-chain social game where we're pioneering new forms of community coordination. You can RSVP and learn more about the Respect game and the growing reputation system with the Respect token on the website optimismfractal.com. Click on the links. And we recorded videos too of each event, so you're welcome to watch and you're welcome to star in the episodes as well, or at least play a big role and share your work and showcase what you're doing. So everyone's welcome to watch these for educational resources, and we hope to see you at the events too, and help spread out the word of what you're doing. And we're building with respect to, so we're implementing the Optimistics Toolkit, an open source suite of tools for community coordination, decentralized governance, fractal apps that allow you to play respect game and make decisions with respect tokens. You can learn more about these here. Optimism Fractal is an excellent place to develop your on-chain career and business, whether you're new to Ethereum or you're building a team or you're building a community or have been building for a long time. You can learn how you can use our tools for our community as well as grow your reputation by playing the respect game and having it the consensus permanently recorded in the OP mainnet. Learn more in the articles, enjoy the harvest. We get a lot of great feedback and have a lot of great benefits that we're really grateful for, and encourage you to check it out to learn more about the benefits of Optimism Fractal. And we're building in public too. We have a Notion site where we have lots of tasks and projects building in an open source way, as well as these open videos and open events and open source repositories where we're contributing to the future of the superchain, the internet, and in general, Optimism Fractal and Optimism Collective and Ethereum provide a great way to, or great ways to earn funding, especially with the capital allocation mechanisms of the Respect game too. You can learn more about retrofunding and other big initiatives on the superchain for how you can earn funding by contributing to the community. And Optimism Fractal is pioneering the future of governance through consistent experimentation with fractal democracy and carefully adhering to our protocol specifications. We're developing proven solutions for how communities of any size can coordinate effectively while maintaining and fostering truly democratic principles to create a more free and fair society. You can learn about our rich history and our core intents, what we've been working on for the past 4 years now, and the Optimism Fractal Sages Council, where you can earn respect and participate in leading the community as well. Also in the OrDAO on-chain account, which is governed by people who participate in the Respect game. Get a hats from the hats protocol, hats tree from Optimism Fractal, much more you can do. Also, each event we host the Optimism Town Hall right afterwards too. So if anybody can stick around for the next hour afterwards, we have a discussion where people can vote with their respect tokens on things they'd like to discuss, and we have lots of topics on the agenda for today. And yeah, much more you can explore on the website. Optimism Fractal is founded and presented by Optimistics, team of builders who create the events and the software. You can learn more at optimistics.io, and it's kind of rooted in Eden Fractal, a community that's been working to build and refine a process like the Respect game for the past 3 years. And we're building the Superchain together. So Superchain, interconnected network of blockchains scaling Ethereum on an open source code base called the OP stack. Learn more at optimism.io, ethereum.org, and check out great networks in Superchain like Base and World and Sonium and Ink and Uchain and so forth. So much going on in the Superchain, and the best way to get involved with Optimism Fractal is to join our bi-weekly events on Thursday at 17 UTC. So we hope to see you there. Also, you can, like I said before, we produce videos, so you can check out the videos tab up in the top right corner and see show notes for each video where we play the respect game from the breakout rooms and also from the town halls that happen afterwards too, from all the episodes and detailed show notes with timestamps and like that, so you can get involved and learn more. And these are also all published on the Eden Creators YouTube channel. So hope that everybody enjoys and shares with friends and joins our next event coming up in 2 weeks if you're not here already. You can also check out the governance forum on Optimism to learn about all our progress at the seasons as well. Lots of great stuff going on the governance forum in general. And a little bit of community news for Eden Fractal. We just published a new video about fractal gardens discussing with Dialexity, exploring AI tools. Actually, no, this is we published that actually, but I pulled up the wrong ones. This is also a great episode. But check out the YouTube channel, and we got some great videos there from Eden Fractal. And on the agenda for today for Optimism Town Hall, we have discussions about fractal ecosystem, Respect.Games app development, and Ethereum ecosystem at the top of the list. But you can vote in the OP topics poll to choose a different topic if you'd like before then. So everyone's welcome to join all these events happening on the Optimistic calendar, as well as check out the tools in the Optimistic toolkit. But with that, we're going to play the respect game now. So I think everybody here knows how it works, but basically each of us, we would go into breakout rooms if we had more people, but today I think we should have the five of us. So we'll see if anybody else joins. But for now, we'll stay here and then we'll each take turns to share what we've done over the past 2 weeks to help Optimism. Also, feel free to, more generally introduce your work and who you are and so forth like that. And then after we each take our turn, then we're going to work to reach consensus on who helped the most and who helped the second most and who helped the third most, all in good fun and to help impact evaluation, contribution measurement, and so forth on the Superchain. You can learn more about the respect game on this article, which is linked on optimismfractal.com, where you can learn more about how it works and why to play and stuff like that. But yeah, basically, feel free to ask any questions during the game, and also feel free to share your screen or share any links and so forth. And I think everybody knows how it goes. So I hope everybody enjoys. And Kirill, since it's your first time here, I know you said you watched some videos, but yeah, if you did have any questions or anything like that, then feel free to ask along the way, and we're happy to help answer, help guide. With that, thank you all for listening to my presentation. And if anybody would like to share anything on their mind, then feel free. Or if anyone wants to go first and share what they've done to help Optimism over the past couple of weeks, then feel free to do so. And we'll each have, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 minutes to go and take our turns. All right, don't everybody go at once. Rosmari, Abraham, Jake, Kirill, would anybody like to? Oh, I see Rosemary's unmuted.
Kirill also muted.
Kirill unmuted too, yes. If you'd like to say hello, Kirill, and introduce yourself a bit, or just jump into what you've been doing, then you can feel free to go first if you'd like.
Okay, so hi again, hi everyone. It's nice to be here. Thank you for organizing. Yeah, I'm a co-founder of LobbyFi. LobbyFi is a protocol with a goal to improve the current governance, on-chain governance. We try to democratize the lobbyism on chain. How we do it? Basically, we financialize the participation in on-chain governance activities. Like basically, we just financializing the delegations that people send to us. Like you delegate your voting power, we try to sell it on the other side, and you get some ETH values that we sell your voting power for, and this is how it works. From the Optimism side, like we are live on I think 6 DAOs currently. But regarding the Optimism side, we launched the operations I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. This is what we have done in regards to Optimism. We also got some delegations. We are not the hugest delegate yet. Maybe we won't be the hugest delegate here. But yeah, just we'll be happy to see any new proposals. We will try to also add them to our smart contracts and to our website, so people can also use our smart contract and website to acquire voting power. This is not only for some big whales players with a lot of money, but it's also the community tool, since we have this auction model. I don't know, should I share it? Share the screen to show you?
Yeah, if you'd like to, you're welcome.
But it's not like we don't have any Optimism proposals, and I'm not sure if it's okay to show other proposals from other DAOs.
It's okay to share if you'd like. I mean,
Okay.
what we're ranking here is contributions to Optimism, but also if you want to, kind of provide a demo of how it works elsewhere, or if you
Yeah.
built the EVM software that could then be deployed on Optimism or whatever stage you're at, you're welcome to share it from some other chain, and then we can use our imaginations
Yes.
a bit for how it could be applied for Optimism.
Cool. Then I can do it.
Cool.
Hello. No.
I've also pulled up LobbyFi to XYZ on my screen too, so I could pull it up. Oh, but I see you got it going on there. Cool.
Yes. So this is like some of the proposal that is already not live, and basically what we see, it was on-chain proposal, because on other DAOs there are also off-chain proposals from Snapshot and other tools. We support also them. This was the proposal from Arbitrum, and basically, since it's not active anymore, you cannot acquire the voting power. But this is how it works: the syndicate auction. Basically, we have two pools, for and against, and in this case, the one like we didn't vote for or against because the threshold was not met. We do it to avoid some kind of manipulations or some issues, since we had like 20 millions Arbitrum votes. We were the hugest delegate at this point, and we try to avoid such things that someone can just acquire this 20 million for $6 or something. That's why we introduced this threshold. And once the one pool, for example, 4 is more than this threshold, then LobbyFi with smart contracts, when LobbyFi closes the syndicate auction, it's like 10 hours before the deadline of the syndicate auction, we will vote automatically for. If it's not, if it's against is also higher than this threshold, then we vote for whatever pool is bigger. Like if it's 4 is bigger than against, then we vote for 4. Or if against is bigger than 4, then we vote for against. In the cases when the threshold is not met, we vote for abstain, just to not create any issues for quorum and so on. So this is the community side of our protocol. Here you can basically, like if community sees the need to get additional voting power, anyone can just here enter the bid from starting from, I think, from 001 ETH, and you can choose for on the against option, and then you basically place your bid, and then by this way you can acquire additional voting power if you're a delegate or if you are just a community member who needs to get this additional voting power to meet the quorum, or I don't know, like to do some activities, you name them. And once we vote and once we get this money, we distribute these values that we get back to the delegators, to someone who delegate to us. And by doing this, we're kind of trying to reshape the current inactive status quo of governance. And on the other side, there is also instant buy option. We always try to set the price for this instant buy higher than necessary to avoid any kind of attacks. And if the attack happens, and if someone pays so much money for it, then we basically distribute this value back to community, and then this is the real wolf of the voting power. And it can be nice, it can be not so nice, but we try to just generally avoid any kind of dangerous proposals. And if you see some neutral proposal or proposal where someone can benefit from, we try to set this instant buy price game theoretically high, so that it makes sense to participate in this community auction. And when someone participates in community auction, anyone else can add other bids and can reach at the end the different outcome that he needs. And like we try to balance it. This is how it works. We also launched on Optimism, but since there is no active proposals now, we have not added them yet. But when there will be any new proposals, we will add them as well on our website. Currently, we get almost 300,000 Optimism tokens delegated to us. Yeah, I'm looking forward to get any new proposals for Optimism. We will add them, and basically you can then acquire our voting power from our protocol.
All right. Very interesting. Thank you, Kirill. Yeah, as we mentioned, I'd heard about your work with LobbyFi a bit, and yeah, recommend people to check out the website lobbyfi.xyz. He showed some of the app and some of the bottom, but the introduction to the website also provides a good overview of what you're explaining in the beginning about how it works. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm very interested to learn more. I know 200,000 or almost 300,000 OP tokens is quite a lot, and then Arbitrum, I believe that LobbyFi has become one of the largest delegates, if not the largest. So, um,
Yeah, yeah, the largest there. Yeah.
very interesting. Well, thank you for sharing with us. I suppose if anyone has any questions for Kirill, then you can ask now. Maybe it's best if we ask after everybody goes, and then yeah, at some point I'd love to well, I'm looking forward to listening to that again, and then maybe listen to an interview, or maybe we can have a longer discussion about it because
Mhm.
very interesting work that you've done with LobbyFi, and looking forward to exploring more and maybe exploring collaborations or just having a better understanding of it. Thanks for sharing, Kirill. Is there anything else you want to share before you pass it on? And whenever you're ready, you can pick somebody else to go next.
No, I think it's fine. Thank you for listening, and I will be also happy to answer your questions if you had some, and also to get any feedback, any thoughts from your side, because you're also guys very experienced in governance, and I appreciate any feedback. Yeah. So who would be next? I think Rosmari, since you chose me first. This is your turn now.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kirill.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll share my screen and set the timer. I think you're supposed to see.
We can see it now. We see your whole screen.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, these past 2 weeks, I've been busy traveling and meeting lots of people, collaborating, and yeah, like telling the story about the respect game, the benefits and so forth, getting people excited, due to follow on those conversations in upcoming days and weeks. But yeah, just been kind of traveling and adjusting to be back here. And well, what I did was I edited the town hall and the Optimism Fractal videos from 2 weeks ago. And since we didn't have Eden Fractal last week, the Eden Fractal one, I invited everyone to join Eden Fractal next week for that. And yeah, you can watch in the meantime Optimism Fractal at Eden Creators YouTube channel. And yeah, you can find all previous videos at the Optimism Fractal /videos. And I also did this image to promote today's event. That's for Optimism Fractal. And I did this tweet, which tells a bit more about the respect game and also linking to the video from last week. And I spread out this message across multiple platforms like Discord channel, Warpcast, X, on X. This is our kind of the channel where we post from at optimistics_. And you'll find I also reposted a few other sort of engagements that we've been having. One of that is, I think Dan will mention it during his contribution time, but it's when he did a live demo of the respect game at the general forum of Ethereum localism event that happened in Boulder, I think a week ago or a week and a half ago. So you can find kind of like updates on Twitter too, with more outreach that was done for through the respect game and its benefits and what we're doing here at the Optimism Fractal. And you know, you can find kind of more of that conversation that's been happening lately on X. And yeah, I was also happy to meet the co-founders of Optimism, Kirill and Ben. And yeah, they both seem to really like what we're doing at here. So yeah, more to come on that. As I mentioned, I spread out the message about this event at a few channels here, and it's relatively late, you know, very kind of close to when the event started. So apologies for being a bit late with the promotions this week. And also I still managed to send out kind of a nudge at for Luma participants there, again inviting to the respect game, also linking to this article about the respect kind of benefits of the respect as a token. And yeah, apart from this, I did work to kind of create show notes for each of the 2 episodes that are published. As I mentioned, you can see timestamps and episode summaries and kind of feedback and links for each of those. So both the town hall and the Optimism Fractal one. And also, yeah, I did work to create this image too, that goes part of the video. And also, I did this kind of draft, or it's more so like a ready to post version of the promoting the video from Optimism Fractal with kind of the usual structure where I give some highlights different members. So I'm due to post this, but it's like in a good kind of final draft stage. Okay, thank you for listening, and I nominate Jake to go next. Good to see you, Jake, and welcome again, Kirill.
Thank you. Okay. Share my screen. Okay, you guys can see?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Wait for the timer. Or there we go. Okay. So I guess I've been missing Optimism Fractal for the past few months. I got a bit of catching up to do. So starting in December until like February-ish, I worked on the OP Atlas application to build out, do some revamps for the website that you see here, and then helped build out the mission application process for the dev tooling and on-chain builders rounds. So you can see here, right? You can see the missions, and I guess it's still going on, right? Yeah, till July 30th. So if anybody's watching has any dev tooling on Optimism or deployed anything on chain, come to this website and get rewarded. So I'll just show the rest of the process, right? You can select your projects that are eligible, agree and apply, and then submit, and then you can apply, and then the Atlas application will take note of that. I guess we'll show the specific eligibilities. So for the dev tooling round, you basically just need a verified open source GitHub repository attached to your project to be eligible. And then there's additional criteria that will be, we'll call it judged later on. I believe they're going to try and do it by an algorithm. And so if you have like a JavaScript NPM package or a Rust crate package, you can get additional rewards for doing so. Let me show on-chain builders, right? This is for deployments to the chain. Here, right, we have contracts verified on eligible OP chains. So most LP chain or most chains in the Superchain are eligible. Stuff like Mode, Metal 2, Lisk, many more chains. Pretty much if you're in the Superchain, I'm sure you're on the list. Sonium, etc., etc. So again, the additional rewards, stuff like a DeFi Llama adapter, or you're in the Bundle Bear operator registry. So yeah, this is all up and running, working. So if you got a project that's eligible for any of this, get it in there and you'll get rewarded. One other thing I wanted to show. Yeah, I guess I'll just show the metrics on that really quick. So yeah, for like on-chain builders, we have 183 projects enrolled already. And then for the dev tooling, we got 152. So pretty great numbers. And then if we go to the dashboard, the other piece that I worked a bit on, let's go into a project, is the contract. We called it internally contract verification v2. So originally what needed to happen was you needed to add your own contract address, add your own deployer, add your transaction hash, add a bunch of data for like one specific contract every single time. So now with the upgraded workflow, all you need to do is supply the deployer address, and then we'll grab all the contracts that it deployed. So yeah, that's what I worked on over the past couple of months. I finished up work on that now, which leads me to be really quick on this one. Things that the politics in the United States are very interesting right now. So I thought, we got Coinbase taking the charge on that game, which is amazing. And so they've got Stand with Crypto, and most of their projects are open source. So I recently forked their repository and started dabbling with it, seeing how I can contribute, taking on issues, et cetera, et cetera. More to come on that next week or whenever. And then back to terms of specifically Optimism, I'm re-entering calls like Optimism Fractal. I've participated in the Grants Council weekly office hours this week, speaking to Ghana, just trying to get more integrated back into the Optimism ecosystem, seeing how I can use my skill set. And so just continuing to do stuff like that. And then finally, I guess we'll go to my website. We'll go to the cool one. Here we go. We'll go to my website. We can see here I'm on Optimism, or I'm not on well, I'm on a lot of Optimism things. But you can see my website. You can see all the projects I worked on. A lot of them are Optimism related. And so if you're interested in someone doing development work, whether that be web development, game development, AI, LLMs, governance, etc., I'm very well versed in a lot of things. If you're interested, come to my website, jacobhomanix.com, and reach out to me. I've got a GitHub, LinkedIn, Twitter, email, Webcaster, Telegram. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Jake. Recommend people check out all your work, and thanks for all the great work. I see everyone's giving hearts and claps. Do you want to pick somebody to go next? And if there's anything else you want to say, then feel free. But you can nominate somebody whenever you're ready.
I think that's it for me. We'll go ahead with Abraham.
Hey, that was really impressive, Jacob. Nice stuff, man. Yeah, so I did a bunch of stuff, at ETH Denver. We were basically telling everybody about Optimism Fractal and just fractal governance and the benefits of the respect game. So I'm guessing I probably pitched our app close to 100 times. But that I don't know that really directly affects optimism per se. I think in the long run it might, but I'd say in terms of impact, probably the most meaningful things that happened were having conversations with with people like Carl and also we did all three, Rosmari, Dan, and I were able to submit a cross-chain submission for the first time, which was pretty cool to see. We got some, some test tokens to go across several different test nets. So that was really fun. I did work a bit on our app. I did fix the mobile view so that the Respect Game app is now usable on mobile. I've got a bunch of other fixes coming for that, and I think just in terms of impact on the Optimism ecosystem, the easier this app is to use, probably the more people will want to use it, and the more organizations will adopt it. Um, and just in terms of the overall adoption of the Respect game, I played the Respect game at my company, and we had a successful, you know, two group session, and everybody was pretty happy with it. So that was cool to see. I did experience a little bit of difficulty getting groups set up, so I'm trying to work on a solution for that. But yeah, making some impact, and definitely just trying to socialize the Respect game. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot other than that. Let's see who else hasn't gone yet. Dan, are you the last one?
I'm the last one. Yep.
All right, hit it.
All right, I'll hit it. Now, are you sure there's nothing else you want to add? Because you still had a few more minutes if you wanted to step on a soapbox or anything else optimism related.
I mean, you know, I yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot else. I haven't, I am an OP delegate, but I didn't get really to vote on anything recently. So yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I think you're being a bit understated a bit because we got the pleasure to spend a lot of time together while we were in Denver and Boulder, and you summarized it by saying pitching 100 times and talking with people. But yeah, I think that was really awesome. Though I would walk into the room and hear Optimism Fractal, reset game, and then the work you did on the app to improve. You did a lot of hard work on that, so that's very much appreciated, and I think that's a great contribution to optimism because respect game is based on optimism, and the more people can benefit from it, the more it helps optimism in many different ways. So really appreciate it, Abraham. All right, so I suppose that I'll go ahead then now and share what I've been doing. And kind of follows up on that too. See Rosmari giving some claps. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share what I did to help optimism over the past 2 weeks. It kind of follows up pretty well on what Abraham shared, since I was in Denver for 8 days out of the past 14, working mostly to help optimism and to help grow the respect game and so forth. I'm Dan Singjoy. I have this little slide here just sharing a lot of stuff that I do behind the scenes that I won't get into here, but work a lot in coordinating the agendas for the events and coordinating the events in general with Optimism Fractal and Eden Fractal and Optimism Town Hall. So we skipped Eden Fractal this week. And working on coordinating tool development, technical development. Have been talking a lot with Abraham and Tadas lately, as well as Howard about how we can improve our tool set and make it more into a product that more people can benefit from, and helping out some people who are interested in it, as well as collaborating with Rosmari on the video production. So yep, there's a lot of stuff with technical event hosting, community marketing, website development, constantly upgrading all the websites that we have, and fundraising efforts and campaign development, stuff like that. But I'll get into the more specifics here, some highlight reel. You can learn more about me at dansingjoy.com. So yeah, I was in ETH Denver. I was mostly at the side events for almost 2 weeks, I guess, a week and a day or something like that. And the event that I went to first was Ethereum General Forum for Ethereum Localism, that was organized by Open Civics in collaboration with Regen Hub, primarily organized by Benjamin Life, also supported a lot by Kevin Walkie and several others. Many amazing people who we met here, made some really good friendships and really good connections. As Rosemarie put out that tweet before, I hosted an unconference session where we demoed the Respect game. There was 9 people who joined. Monty is one of the people who joined the Respect game, founder at ReFi DAO and works at Cello. And I played with Kevin Owaki as well as Nikhil um, from Predicate and several other great builders, Arthur from Holochain and so forth. So we did a live in-person demonstration, a few of them, of the Respect game. So that was great with the new app, and coordinate a lot of work around that, as well as met people and engage and so forth. Benjamin Light's really interested in the Respect game and implementing it. So we talked about how we could use it for the benefit of Ethereum as a whole. And then Kevin Owalki, got some great feedback for the Respect game from him and Griff Green and several other leaders in the space too. And everyone enjoyed it. And so that was really cool. I also gave a talk too on the Regen stage here. It was like a 10-minute talk. It was kind of impromptu, but it worked out really well. People reached out, and a lot of people expressed interest in playing the Respect game and joining, and we're really impressed by it. So really like to see that. And then right after, Zane from OP Labs came up to me. And I actually listened to him give a talk on interoperability the day prior. But so I was actually meaning to reach out to him about some interoperability use cases we have for Optimism Fractal. But then we had probably a half-hour conversation with him and also Hamdi, who are building Superchain interop. And so then he put out this tweet here about how they're excited about what we're prototyping with Optimism Fractal and using Superchain interop to make our reputation and Respect tokens more value across the Superchain. Perhaps some integrations with LobbyFi too, maybe, who knows. So yeah, they put out these tweets here, and I just retweeted it, but I'm saving some more tweets and quote tweets for later once we actually implement it and learned how to do that. The basics of it within development environment with Carl Flourish, which is really cool. And yeah, Optimism quote tweeted too. So we got quite a few views here, and it helped to spread the word about interop. This conversation kind of led to this chain of events. And then, yeah, I participated in a bunch of events too. I think I opened up some of them. So I was at the Superchain space for a couple of days, met Carl and Ben there and talked with them each for like a half hour about the Respect game and also Fractal, and they really liked it. And I was just trying to just support the Superchain community as much as possible there. They've been huge inspirations, and it was an amazing event. I also got this merch that I'm wearing here too there. And then also participated at the Regenerative Network State Social by VDAO, who I don't know if they're building on Optimism, but they're building on Ethereum, and they may be building on Optimism. I'm sure they are in some ways, and they're interested in the Respect game and participated in Shelling Point, and met Veronica from Zuzulu City and talked a lot about how to implement fractal democracy and Respect game and so forth. Also at the Green Pill ETH Denver barbecue, and also shared about the Respect game and how it could be used for Allo Capital at a Green Pill Developer Guild call too, as well as a Regen call. So that was a lot of the events. As I said before, like as Abraham did, like I was, telling people with the Respect game all the time and hearing what they're working on and forming a lot of connections and so forth. Um, Also met Devanch as well from the Ethereum Foundation, thanks to Abraham, and then responded to Zal about some stuff that Benji's been talking about how the Respect game can help meritocratically distribute tokens. And I've been coordinating with Das and Abraham on some fractals, and then working on the next deliverable for the Optimism Fractal Respect game mission, which will be about the about governance integration system. In addition, I became a patron for Allo Capital, who's building the capital allocation layer for the tokenized internet, started by Kevin Owalki and Rena. And yeah, so I'm working on a proposal. Still a little bit late for how the Allo DAO can use the Respect game. And then that's the lobby finance that I pulled up to that I was just thought was really cool too. So I wanted to give another shout out to Kirill and his teammates for working on that. So yep, that's basically my overview of what I've done to help Optimism this week. And if any of you has any questions or comments for anybody, then feel free. And also, I believe that Rosmari shared a link to respectgame.xyz. Yeah, that's another thing I did too. I just took the respectgame.xyz URL and forwarded it to the current app to make it a bit easier to find. So yeah, if everybody can click there if you haven't done so already, and create a profile if you've done so already, and then we can start playing the game. But yeah, if anybody has any questions or comments before we get started, then feel free to jump in as well.
I have a question for Jake. So great work for the Atlas application. I'm interested if you're how you came across to work on that. And is this the main sort of website and application that is being used for the current retrofunding rounds for Optimism?
Yep. So I found it actually by talking to I believe his name is Max. He runs the developer office hours for Optimism. I think he does it every 2 weeks or so. I just hopped in and started talking to him, and he shot the opportunity my way and gave me an intro to the Agora, people making the Optimism governance. As for OP Atlas, to answer your question, yes, it's for the main like the current Optimism rounds, which as of right now, I believe that so there's a bit of a change going on with how they're structuring the retro PGF missions, is what they're called now. They used to be called rounds, but now they're called missions. And the idea is they're going more for an ongoing like application process, I guess. So like the dev tooling round and the on-chain builders, I don't think those will ever truly end anymore. So even though there's like an end date on the website, I think those will just continue on for the foreseeable future, along with new missions coming about. And so OP Atlas is, working directly with Optimism themselves. And the idea is to make Atlas kind of, I think, just for like retro PGF stuff. But the idea is to make Atlas like the main website for anything regarding Optimism retro public goods funding. So another piece that I didn't have the time to show is there's also like public user profiles, and you can see how people have been rewarded in the past and other accolades and stuff like that. So there's a lot of expansion planned for the website itself, and just trying to consolidate, just again, everything retro public goods funding to the website. And then another thing I'll mention really quick, because based on my conversation with Ghana on Tuesday, there was something with the grants program itself that he was interested in. I'm trying to remember, but I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But he was trying to see if there was a way to plug that into OP Atlas itself. So again, stay tuned. I hope I get to work on this project more. As of right now, I'm not working on it at the moment, but I do hope I get the chance to in the future. I think if it's going to be the one-stop shop for retro PGF, it's going to be a wonderful time. Sorry, I went on a bit of a thing there, but hopefully that answered your questions, Rosmari.
Yes, thank you, Jake. Yeah, I do agree that having one-stop shop or something like that, like for all things retro funding and also missions, as they're now that they changed from the mission request structure that was before, that was happening before. I think that's like a great thing to consolidate them, and great job working on that.
Yep. Cool. Well, I had there's a question I could ask Jake too, but also I was just trying to set up the room, Rosemary, and I don't see your profile in there right now for some reason. I don't know if anybody else has been trying to set the room. If so, then maybe you can let us know. And I guess me, Abraham, or Rosemary each have admin access, so one of us can do it if anybody can see Rosemary. And then also I saw Kirill was unmuted at some point, so if you wanted to speak out, Kirill, then feel free. But I see first Abraham is unmuted, so maybe we'll figure out the logistics first.
Yeah, just probably just log out and log in for Rosemary. Usually, so
was in
I'm
a
only
different
displaying users that are
organization.
actually actively logged in.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in a different organization. I just
Mhm.
switched to Optimism Fractal. So
Oh yeah, I see you now.
Yeah, I was in GFL when I came back. Abraham had created a GFL group, so back to Optimism Fractal. Cool, cool. Was there anything you wanted to say, Kirill, before when you were unmuted?
I just got technical question regarding this fractalgram because I don't have any active sessions here. How to play it actually, like from this fractalgram? I don't have any active sessions yet. Will you add me, or do I have to do it myself?
Yeah, we'll add you. So that's what I was just talking about. I was gonna start up a room with Rosmari, but
Yeah.
then I couldn't find her. So yeah, so one of us will add you, and then in a moment or so we'll give you instruction on it'll be like join group 144 or whatever it is. We just have to figure out the right number once we create it.
Okay.
Okay. Hey Jacob, maybe while we're setting up, if you could just briefly answer, what was your role with the OP Atlas? Did you like build some of did you build the entire thing, or did you build some aspect of like the UI or the smart contracts? Or I'm not sure if you said that already, but would just be curious.
Yeah. So it was already an existing application. I forget when it first was made. I think it's only a year or two old. So like most of the dashboard was already built out. Pieces of the application process, and then everything regarding the rounds 1 through 6. That was already there. So essentially created my main focus was building the web pages and dealing with the back end for the application process for 7 and 8. And so that was my main focus. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for the clarification and all the great work. I also just created the room as well. We only have 6 minutes left because we kind of took a while with everything else. So I mean, I'm happy we have another hour planned, so I'm okay with reaching this after the top of the hour. But if anybody does need to go at the top of the hour and has a hard stop, then we should try to come to consensus quickly. So please let us know. Also, Kirill, to answer your question, I did just share a link to the Fractogram group. It's 139, so you can either click the link in the Zoom chat, or if you click play in the top left corner, then you can manually just find where it says join group 139 and you can join there. So if everyone can please join, and then whenever you're ready, you can also, I see a thumbs up from Kirill. Whenever you're ready, you can vote for level 6. And level 6 is who you think did the most to help Optimism over the past 2 weeks based upon the presentations that you heard. So you can go ahead and vote for whoever you think helped the most and deserves the most respect this time. And then if we reach consensus with 2/3 consensus, then we'll all receive respect. But people will get each higher level gets about 60% more respect. So yeah, so far we have everybody voted but me, looks like. Okay, and we have 2 votes from me and 3 votes for Jacob. So we do not yet have consensus. So we need to have more consensus. If anybody would like to either change the vote or advocate either way for why they voted for whom they voted for, then we can now do so. And then if Jacob gets 1 more vote, or I get 2 more votes, or somebody gets 4 votes, then we'll have consensus. I guess I can go first and say that I voted for Jacob. I think that's a big contribution directly to Optimism. I appreciate people who voted for me, but also yeah, Jacob has been building on Optimism on base also for the past several months, and really big fan of what he's doing, and that's a very direct contribution building the Atlas site, which is I've also been coordinating about how we can meet those requirements too for with the respect game, the ORDAO software and so forth. And so I really appreciate as a builder who's aiming to earn from retrofunding, having that like sleek user interface and stuff like that. So that's why I voted for Jacob. Happy to vote, happy to change my vote if it would be helpful. But I think Jacob deserves a lot of respect for that as well.
Yeah, I think everyone here did amazing. I also voted for Jacob because it seems like what he delivered is specifically for Optimism, and it's like a very core part of the public goods funding mechanism, retrofunding. So that's pretty vital for the growth of Optimism, you know, and the backend work that he did just contributes to the whole the whole participation experience of all these projects applying for retrofunding. So that's why I voted for Jacob. Whereas you know, kind of, I think other contributions, like a lot of them are still in the works. Whereas this one is has like already taken place, or most of the work has been delivered, and it's working well from what it seems like. So yeah, I hope Jacob continues working on that project, on the Atlas project, and on more projects in the Optimism, Superchain ecosystem.
All right, thanks, Rosmari. We still have 40% of vote for me and 60% for Jacob. So if anyone wants to switch their vote or further advocate, we can. I also just want to make sure, does anybody have a hard stop in like a minute? Because if so, then we'll need to just figure out if we can reach consensus quickly or something like that before then. Or can everybody stick around for maybe a few minutes or 5 minutes after if we wind up going over time? All right, I'm assuming we're good, but feel free to let us know if you do got to go, and we'll just try to make it work within the time constraints. I think I saw Kirill unmuted himself, so feel free if you wanted to say something there. And we do need to reach consensus in order to move to the next level, or else none of us will get respect. So that's the respect game. We have to receive 4 out of 6 consensus on all the levels for us to receive respect. And right now we have 0 consensus, or we have some consensus, but we don't have 4 out of 6 consensus on any level. So we'll have to do that. Kirill?
Just a question: why don't we have the consensus right now? Because like the majority, 60% is for Jacob. It's fine. Yeah.
It needs to be 66% or like 2/3 consensus. Yeah. So, I mean, I could switch myself too if it'd be easier, but if I did that, then I would just have a 60% and Jacob would have 40%. So I don't think that actually matters. Oh, I see somebody switch to Jacob. So Jacob gets level 6 now, and now we can move on to the next level. Congrats, Jacob, and thank you. And now we'll repeat the same process, but now we'll be voting for level 5. So who do you think helped Optimism second most over the past couple weeks based on the presentation? All right, and now we don't have consensus again. We have 1 vote for Abraham, 2 votes for me, and 2 votes for Kirill. Would anybody like to share their thoughts or advocate or change their votes? Perhaps persuade people to switch their votes? I can also go ahead if nobody else wants to go first. And yeah, I think I'll do that. I voted for Kirill. So I do think what Abraham and Rosmari did was really, really valuable and really important over the break about meeting a lot of people and promoting the respect game. I think it's like top app for Optimism and top app for Ethereum in the world, and gonna be super helpful in many ways. But I know Abraham and Rosmari have earned a lot of respect already, and myself as well. And what Kirill has done with LobbyFi, and yeah, I don't know all the details about what Kirill's role in this is and what exactly he did in the past 2 weeks versus other weeks. I know that a lot of what he shared is focused more on Arbitrum, and they've had generally like a lot more going on Arbitrum, but there is a lot of engagement in terms of people voting for LobbyFi on Optimism. And the app is like very well put together. It looks really nice. And I've also heard some people say like it could be like vote bribing and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I think that I wonder, and that's something I'd like to talk with you about, Kirill, at some point, like what the role is, because I know that some people see it as a way to like pay for votes to make it more bribery, but also I think it makes the system more efficient, and that's something that like it probably helps a lot overall. But I don't know. I just think it's a really cool app, and like it's very well put together, and so I think that deserves respect, even if it's not built only for Optimism. Happy to also vote for Abraham or myself if it would help us reach consensus. But I see Kirill is unmuted, so that's my logic about why I voted for Kirill, and appreciate you building what you're building and curious to learn more.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if we should start a discussion regarding about LobbyFi right now, but we can if you have time. or we can do it also later. But just want to comment on this bribing. We try to avoid this word bribe because also in our name it's lobbyism and lobby. And what is the difference? I mean, the difference is in the transparency level. We're bringing on smart contracts. Everyone can see it. Anyone can plan with it in real time, and also use this tool since it's done for community. Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for the clarification. And yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to put the wrong word on it. It just it's a fascinating project, and it seems to me like it makes the markets around governance much more efficient, and that's what
Yeah.
it is probably in the best interest when it is a governance based on markets, like with
Mhm.
proof of stake and stuff like that. So. Yeah, thanks for the clarification. And yeah, we should probably try to come to consensus pretty quickly. Usually we have an hour limit, but today we're kind of going longer. If people want to have a longer discussion about it, then we can. But also we could just reach consensus. I see that Kirill now has 60% of the votes, and I have 20%, and Abraham has 20%. So if Kirill gets up, Kirill gets level 5. All right. Congrats, Kirill. Gets the second most respect today. And now it's between me, Rosmari, and Abraham. So now we can pick who we think deserves the third most respect for this week. Okay, we don't have consensus again. We have 60% for me and 40% for Abraham. Does anyone want to speak out? I voted for Abraham here. I'm happy to switch some vote for myself too if it help us. But yeah, I really appreciate Abraham both promoting the respect game so much, as well as the building that he did, building the next versions of the app, which was super important too. So that's why I voted for Abraham. And I'm happy if anyone wants to switch their vote from me to Abraham, or I'm also happy to earn the respect as well.
Yeah, Dan, I voted for you just because I think you probably pitched like at least 2 times as much as I did, if not more. And you have a great way of kind of just promoting the respect game in a sort of an effortless conversational way. And I just thought it was pretty impressive to see your stamina as we went through that conference. You just talked to everybody about it and we're excited about it. And so yeah, I think you definitely got some respect for me for that.
Thanks, Abraham. I appreciate that. And likewise, too, I could say all the same things about you too. And I know that while you weren't promoting it, you were building a lot and you were like super motivated to build. So I really appreciate that. And I did have a couple of days of like blissful rest after I got back after having to relax. But I appreciate that. And yeah, it looks like I received consensus there now. So now we can move on to level 3 between Rosemarie and Abraham, and everybody can submit their votes. And if we reach consensus, then we'll all receive respect here. All right, we're waiting on a vote from Kirill. And we have consensus on Abraham for level 3. That means Rosemary gets level 2. Of course, much respect and appreciation for Rosemarie. She was talking respect game, probably just as much as me, maybe more, and doing great work, doing great collaborations as well as all the images and stuff like that. So much appreciation, Rosemarie. And that means we can submit it on chain now. So if everybody could please, if you're able to, hit the push on chain button, and then that will submit it onto the OP mainnet, and then using the OrDAO smart contracts that Optimism Fractal operates with. And that means that respect will be distributed to everybody's account within the next week, I think within the next 4 days, as long as we get enough people push it on chain. And then we could keep talking respect game and follow up on that for as long as we want. We also have exciting topics on the agenda for Optimism Town Hall, so we could transition to that. The top topic is about the fractal ecosystem, so we could explore that. We could explore more about the ETH Denver conference and the progress there. I'd also be happy to talk more. Maybe if it'd be useful, we could do a bit of a detour on the topic of the Optimism Town Hall, and talk a bit more with Kirill about LobbyFi too, if everybody would like. Although that's not really the formally voted topic right now, but I suppose we could also fit that in with the fractal ecosystem, because I'm curious how the fractal democracy and so forth could synergize with LobbyFi. But yeah, I suppose first off, if anybody has any last comments or anything on the respect game, then feel free to share here. And if not, then I can at least give a little introduction to the town hall. And then we can kick it off there at the town hall. And then for anybody who can stick around, then we can have a discussion, and kind of go have a flowing discussion with whatever we're most interested in. Of course, the topic on the agenda is there, but we can use it as a guide, not like as a command, and we could use it to help guide our discussions if we want. If anybody does need to go, then feel free. Thanks so much for joining us here for the respect game. Hope you all had a great time. I'd be curious too, Kirill, if you have any feedback about the respect game. Maybe that'd be a good thing to leave some space for before we move into the town hall. And then afterwards we can move in town hall for anybody who can join. And we do have another 15 minutes scheduled for the town hall too, where we can have some more open discussions. So, but yeah, first, does anybody have, oh, I see Abraham said he's needed his IRL job. Great playing with y'all. Shout out to Abraham. Does anybody have any last thoughts or comments for the respect game? Kirill, do you want to share any feedback on the respect game or anything like that, or anything else about LobbyFi before we move into the town hall segment and the more open discussion? Or the kind of, I mean, we could have open discussion here, but also more kind of town hall discussion.
Any feedback? Yeah, I think it's nice practice to, and I think it's a pity that only you guys participate, because I also saw you in on the videos. Like, it would be maybe cool to have here, I don't know, 10 other people who are working actively on optimism. And it's just really a nice space to share the updates and to also provide any kind of personal feedback to these updates. And yeah, I mean, it's a great community tool. Pity that not the full community is not using it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for the feedback, and glad you enjoyed it. I see Rosmari gave a thumbs up, and she said she agrees. And yeah, it's one of our goals to have more people enjoy it in the optimism community and throughout the Superchain ecosystem. And at various times sometimes we've had up to 30 people joining. Not Optimism Fractal, most we've had probably about 15 or 20. But in the past, in other fractal communities, we've done about 30 people or maybe even 40. And it's really fun when you get more people and like a big community around it. It's also nice and intimate. We get to know the people here and appreciate everyone joining very much to help support us in these early days. And then, yeah, I think that uh, uh, a lot of the things that we talked about today, like we're still getting our app kind of ready for prime time and forming these connections with Optimism ecosystem and so forth. So yeah, over the coming months, we're aiming to scale it up so that we can bring it to its full potential. And eventually we aim to help many thousands, many millions of people with the respect game. So there'll be lots of opportunities to collaborate with other people in the Optimism ecosystem and meet people to respect game, hopefully in the future. If you had any other thoughts, Kirill, or feedback or anything else about the respect game, then feel free. Or if you wanted to share anything else on that LobbyFi conversation before we head in the town hall, then feel free. And if not, we can always just jump into town hall. I can give a little quick introductory presentation. And then for anybody who can stick around, then we'll have a discussion where we can discuss fractal ecosystem or whatever we want, really. There's just the four of us here. So we could discuss more about fractals, perhaps more about LobbyFi. If Jacob or Rosmari, you have anything else on your mind you'd like to talk about too, that we can get into these as well.
I'll just say, I guess, good job to everyone these past few weeks. Like, this Optimism Fractal this week seems very like impactful. You know, like everybody seemed to have been working on something like super important, right? We got people working in directly on the governance and improving the processes on that, to all three of you going to ETH Denver and pushing Optimism Fractal and engaging with the community, right? Then of course me working on retro PGF stuff. So I don't know, just felt like everybody did a really, really good job this week. So I think everybody should make sure they get noticed for that. Even though I know we just kind of did a game that did that, but yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Great points. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, if only there's some sort of game where people could earn respect and recognition for doing good things. I'm just joking. I totally agree and very much appreciate your feedback and support and yeah, really great work you did. I'm glad you got a lot of respect today. Welcome, Tyme, as well. Thanks for joining. Enjoyed meeting you. I think that was 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. And I heard you were at ETH Denver. I think I heard Abraham met you. We were at the Greenfield Barbecue, but we didn't get a chance to talk there. But appreciate you joining. Hope you're having a great day. We're just wrapping up the respect game here and kind of reflecting and getting a light start on the town hall. But if you'd like to say hello, Time, share any thoughts, then you're welcome to, and then we can jump into the town hall topics whenever we're ready.
Yeah, hello. This time I go by it's TYMED. It's teaching young minds every day. Yeah, I was at the barbecue. Yeah, wish we had the opportunity to meet. Yeah, definitely support. So I'm here and just thank you.
Sounds good. You're welcome. And that's cool. I hadn't heard what the acronym meant, so that's very cool. Teaching your minds every day. Very nice. That's Time. Time has a habit of doing that for us. Yeah, and I wanted to go and meet you there. Unfortunately, I had a talk that I had to go participate in, so I was only able to join there for a short time. But really appreciate you joining here, and looking forward to next in IRL event we can catch up more and get to know more about what we're doing. And of course, Time, you're also welcome too if you want to join about an hour earlier, actually an hour 15 minutes earlier. You're welcome to join for the respect game as well, where you can share updates about your work. Of course, you're welcome to share some updates here, but respect game is really well formatted for that too, where we each take turns to share. I think you participated last, I'm not sure, but yeah, here we're at the town hall where we have kind of more open flowing conversations and so forth. So I suppose I can jump into the agenda. I see I see Kirill's unmuted too. Did you want to say anything, Kirill? Did you want to add anything onto
Yeah.
what we were discussing
No,
before?
no, sorry, just forgot to meet you, to meet me.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, thanks all for being here, and I suppose that I will start sharing my screen here, and we'll get into the topics of the day, and then we'll see what happens. So here we go. I'll share it in 3, 2, 1. First, I'll say thanks again, everybody, for playing the respect game. This has been a wonderful episode of Optimism Fractal, a wonderful event. Hope to see you all next time at Optimism Fractal on the Thursday, 23rd, I believe, of March for the next Optimism Fractal respect game. And looking forward to seeing all your contributions. And with that, we're going to go into the Optimism Town Hall as well. Of course, we'll also host the Eden Fractal event next week. Everyone's welcome to join these two. But thanks everybody so much for the great event. And go Optimism Fractal, go respect game.